Lex Luthor's Action Comics number 893. So here we go. Gorilla Grodd. Lex is still on his quest to find the Black Lantern energies. So we got Paul Cornell, we got guest artist Sean Chen. So that's some pretty cool stuff. Now, obviously we saw Gorilla Grodd in the last issue. I'm not the biggest Gorilla Grodd fan, but so we got some interesting things here. So we see Gorilla Grodd. What he does, he's got this collection of brains. So apparently, I somehow wasn't fully aware of this. He can take brains, eat them, and then he gets the memories from the brain. So it's kind of gross stuff here. We got Lex. They're in the jungle. They're searching for the energy source. Now, unfortunately, what happens? Gorilla Grodd sends his gorillas out to capture them. They capture the robot Lois. One of the things that might seem a little weird here, because we saw a couple issues ago where Lois has like all these guns that pop out of her arms. So you might be wondering, why doesn't she just like start shooting? You know, why would she just be able to get taken away? And you know, maybe you're thinking, well, perhaps Lex needs to give a command and he lost his concentration, or I don't know. So there is a reason. So we get to see that there's a funny interaction between Gorilla Grodd and this robot Lois. That's pretty interesting. But I will have to say, you probably know what's coming up in 894 is there's a certain Vertigo character that's going to make an appearance that actually makes an appearance on the last page. So we are going to see Death here, and I don't know if I should spoil this, but we're going to see something happen to Lex Luthor. So that might explain why Death is going to be here. Now, this is an interesting story. You might think, okay, it's Lex Luthor and a talking gorilla. That's how I kind of saw it, but I was like, no, it's Paul Cornell. I've been digging his Action Comics since Lex has been on there. I'm gonna read what happens, and it is cool. There's twists in here. There's stuff that you see something happen. You're like, wait, how can they do that? There's got to be and there is a twist. There's stuff that happens. So it's all pretty cool. There's like multiple twists here. So good stuff. My problem with this is then the story is over. Like right when you get to that last page, and we're like, what's going to happen? And then we get this second feature. It's Jimmy Olsen. Jimmy Olsen can kind of be cool. You know, I like the last the James Robinson Jimmy Olsen where Jimmy Olsen dies, but he didn't really die. He comes back. But that was cool. So this is by Nick Spencer and R.B. Silva. You know, we get this flashback where when Jimmy Olsen was kidnapped by a genie. He has this sneaky way of getting out of that. That was okay. That was interesting. It was a little entertaining. The main thing here that people are going to care about is you probably heard about this. This is the first appearance in regular comic books of Chloe Sullivan. Chloe Sullivan, you probably know from Smallville. So she's making her appearance here. I am not crazy about Chloe Sullivan being in regular DC Comics because here it's acknowledged that Chloe was Jimmy's girlfriend, so she's his ex-girlfriend. But how come we've never ever heard of her before here? She's a reporter, and she works for a website called the Metropolitan, but yet we've never heard her. So we don't know, does this Chloe have any ties to Smallville Clark, like Smallville and the TV show? I didn't really care for her portrayal. I don't know why she's here. I'm not really sure what the point is. You know, Smallville, a TV show, it's on its last season. So if they were going to incorporate her into the comics, they should have done it years ago like they originally were going to, but something happened and those plans were scrapped. But so she's here. The story, we got this other guy, Sebastian Mallory, who's kind of like this jerky guy working for LexCorp, and Jimmy doesn't like him. The story was, it was okay. So for me, that kind of took away from the overall comic. I was excited by Lex. We got this cool David Finch cover. We got Lex going up against Gorilla Grodd. We got deaths. We got twists. And then we got the Jimmy Olsen backup story. So I would say overall this issue is a 4 out of 5. It's got some cool stuff. I could have done with less of a second feature. But if that's the price, you know, if it's an added thing, that's fine. I wish these extra pages were filled with more Lex crazy shenanigans. So if you've been following Lex Luthor's quest for black energy power, you should definitely look for this. If you like Chloe Sullivan, if you're a fan of Smallville and you want to see what's going to happen with her, you know, there is a twist on the last page. Something is going to happen so we're going to see, I'm assuming, more Jimmy Olsen in the next issue. But for me, it's the main story is the selling point here. So look for that. That's issue 893. You're going to want to see what's going to happen with Lex and get ready for 894, which is going to have Death. So look for that.